Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. This evening on page 165 of the book called Srima, the Guru and the Goddess, we're going to begin the discussion of the Lalita Trishati. And before I read from the book, which is pretty easy to do, I want to tell you about the relationship between Lalita and Lakshmi. And Lakshmi and Saraswati, and Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Kali, and Chandi, and they're all kind of parts and parcels and translations of each other into different cultures, in different contexts, in different regions, in different time zones. So they're all part and parcel. Aparajita is the name of Durga, which is the name of Lalita, which is the name of Lakshmi, which is the name of Saraswati, which brings Chandi, and they're all molded into one. So there's only one goddess. And sometimes we call her Shiva, and sometimes we call her Shiva. And sometimes we call her the mother of the universe, and sometimes we call her the father of the universe, and sometimes we call her brother and sister. You are the mama and the papa and the kids and the friends and the relatives and everybody else ad nauseum. You are this all. Sarabang, Tamiva Sarabang, Deva Deva. You are all and everything. Oh my God of gods. So this Lalita is another name of the Divine Mother. And we're going to discuss her place in our lives, because she's really a fun goddess to have around. I mean, Durga is a really handy lady to have around. Kali's got a long tongue. Ganesh has a long nose. Lalita is really fun. So let's go to the text. And we're starting with the introduction. Lalita is another name for our Divine Mother. It means beautiful, playful, and beloved. She is beautiful as there is no other vision to compare with the divinity of existence. She is playful because everything that is perceivable is part of the Leela of God, the manifestation of divine drama upon the stage of consciousness. She is beloved because all other love has an element of selfish attachment, but the love of God and Guru is pure love. And I think we distinguish between the pure love and the regular love, because regular love has an element of attachment. You're always looking for the return on your investment. But pure love says, the return that I want on my investment is just to see the smile on your face when you are delighted by the expression of my love. It's such a privilege to do what I do to serve you in order to demonstrate the sincerity, the purity, the clarity of my love. And that's the pure love that we're talking about. The love of God is pure love. Her name also means she who resides in the Lalat, or in the third eye of the forehead, in the Agnya Chakra, or the summit of existence. She who orders and organizes the creation. Agnya means order. Like hukum, like I'm giving you an order. I'm ordering you to organize this creation. That is the Agnya Chakra. And that's why it's called the Agnya Chakra, because when you visit the Agnya Chakra, you visit she who orders and organizes existence. She orders and organizes the creation. If Sadashiva and Shakti reside in eternal union in the Sahasrara, then Lalita distinguishes the individual forms and names of objects and relationships in this existence. So you've got Sadashiva and Shakti. Those are the first two tattvas. Then you've got Lalita. She orders and organizes and defines the individuals of existence. In order to look into your eyes to tell you how much I love you, I must step back from our union into the duality of our love. Lalita, the beautiful, the beloved, is the one I see. If you and I are one, how can I tell you how much I love you? I have to step into duality and say, I'm here and you are there, and between us is love. Lalita is the one I see. All the karma of creation she orders, all actions of existence are authored by her. It is for her that we do everything, knowingly or unknowingly. We are constantly seeking to manifest expressions of our love to her. When we are successful, she grants her approval, and as a loving mother, she gives us the fruit of our righteous karma. You will enjoy the fruit of your karma, whether you like it or not. And when we fail to tread the path of Dharma, she lets us know immediately and sends to us the conflict and confusion born of impropriety. Every time we goof up, we know very quickly we goofed. She has 1,000 names. Sahasrana. She has many thousands of names. Even more true is that every name in existence is hers. In the 1,000 names of Lalita appears the name Kameshwari, the supreme goddess of all desires. This is also a name of Kali. In the 1,000 names of Kali appears the name Padma, and this is also a name of Lakshmi. In the 1,000 names of Lakshmi appears the name Saraswati. They are all one. There is only one God. There is only one goddess. The God and the goddess are one. You can choose any name, any form, any way you want to call upon the one. And it's not incorrect. The worship with 1,000 names brings great fruit. Rahasya Nama Sahasram Ahima Yo Majodifaha Sasikaranu Iratrayakan Namo Mahima Varide. Those who offer to me the secret of the greatness of the 1,000 names, they are a shining light in the darkness of night. Such is the glory of these names. These 1,000 names shine in the consciousness of the goddess of all vibrations, Bhagdevi. The fruit bears 10 million qualities, of which not even one can be sung. You can't even sing one of the qualities of what it's like to sing the 1,000 names. But the worship with the 300 names brings even greater fruit. Whatever fruit may be derived from the offerings and songs and continuous recitations of other mantras, that fruit will be multiplied by 10 million qualities for those who worship with these 300 names. That means these 300 names give you 10 million times the unspeakable fruits of the 1,000 names. The fruit of the secret of 1,000 names brings 10 million changeless qualities. Whoever sings these 300 names receives 10 million times those qualities. 10 million times the 10 million. You do the math, please. I am not a mathematician. Lalita is Sri Vidya. She is the knowledge of the highest respect. Sri means, Sha means Shanti, Ra means your mind, E means your heart. Sri Vidya is the knowledge of the highest respect. When we perceive with peace in our minds and peace in our hearts, we are demonstrating respect. And Lalita is Sri Vidya, expressed by the 15-lettered mantra known as Ka-Adi, the Kadi mantra. Remember the 3 forms of Sri Vidya: Kadi, Hadi, and Kahadi. So the one that starts with the Divine Mother, Ka-Elohim, is Kadi. The one that starts with the Divine Father, Ha-e-ilarim, is the Hadi mantra. And the Shorashi, the 16-lettered mantra, says Ka-ha-e-ilarim. Shiva and Shakti are united as one. So that which starts with the letter cause, the primary cause, she defines the three forms of Maya, the Maya of Shankya, the Maya of illusion, which causes the many to look with attachment to the many, forgetting entirely the inherent divinity within. That's all of us looking at all of us and forgetting about God. And the Maya of Tantra, that's the embodiment of the Divine Mother, the relationship between the many and the one to the many. And the Maya of Vedanta, that's the one eternal existence in harmony with its own self. As Sri Vidya, she has three forms. Kadi, the Divine Mother, manifesting as the primary cause. Hadi, Lord Shiva, infinite consciousness. And ultimately as Shorashi, the 16-lettered Kahadi, who is Shiva and Shakti in undifferentiated communion. You can't tell where Shiva leaves off and Shakti begins. They're one. And manifesting this all as the oneness of nature perceived by consciousness. Together they become this three-chakra jantra. As Kadi, the 5 triangles of the Divine Mother in union with the 4 triangles of Lord Shiva. As Hadi, the 5 triangles of infinite consciousness, manifesting with the 4 of Shakti. And as Kahadi, the 4 of Shiva and the 4 of Shakti, plus the 1 of Kamkala. Kamkala, the desired attribute. Kamkala, the attribute of all desires. Kamkala, the perfect harmony of the threes. All the threes, Uma, Emrim, Klim, Ma Kali, Ma Lakshmi, Ma Saraswati, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, the unity of the threes, Kamkala. The unity of all aspects. But Lalita has another quality which extends beyond the philosophies of Tantra and Vedanta. She is a living goddess. And her 300 names, even though composed in the modern classical Sanskrit, are authored containing the elements of Shama, found in the Vedas. It's like the Shama Veda. It has the Shama notation. In modern classical Sanskrit, there are 3 criteria for poetic expression: the meaning, the meter, and the rhyme. In the Shama, the song meters of Vedic Sanskrit, there is a 4th element known as tone, swara. Each word has a particular energy, a special bhava, an intensity of vibration, and inherent power within to awaken within the seeker the specific attitude defined. When chanted with the Udgit, the special mode of pronunciation, the 300 names come alive and make our mother manifest. So in the Chandipat, in chapter 4, verse 10, she is called the intrinsic nature of sound, especially of the wisdom of the Vedas pronounced with the Udgit. Shabdatmika, Sulibalargadusham Nidamam, Udgit, Ramyapada Padapatang Basamnam, Devi Tragi Bhagavati Bhavavanaya, Bhartacha Sarva Jagatam Paramarthi Amtri. You are the intrinsic nature of sound and exceedingly pure as the Rig Veda, the Yajur Veda, and the Sama Veda, with a special mode of pronunciation of songs in praise of the divine. You are the foundation. You are the 3 Vedas and the Supreme Empress. The generation and protection of the universe is the business which you manifest. You're a busy lady. You are the destroyer of fear and torment in the entire perceivable universe. The written word cannot describe the tone of sound. You gotta hear it. Some things can only be learned from watching and listening to a qualified guru. We need to hear and to see, and only then can we inculcate into our own lives the tones of the Divine Mother. How can we describe her being? After generations of reflection, the Vedic rishis could only say, neti, neti, nayati, nayati. She is not this and she is not that. How does one describe the sounds of the eternal Divine Mother? The tinkling of her anklets, the generous sighing of her compassion, the sincerity in her voice choked with emotion, raised in pitch, calling upon divinity with both joy and respect. Call upon the Divine Mother, sing her names, narrate the tales of her saints, and become inspired to greater achievement. She is our beautiful, playful, beloved Mother. She grants the fruit of all karma. Worship her with all your heart. I bow to her with all my beings. I bow to Sri Ma, my Guru, who took me beyond the intellectual meanings of words into their intuitive power. I bow to all devotees and disciples who are striving in the path of purification, and I offer this presentation as an added inspiration to help cultivate the qualities for which we strive. Namaste. I can't tell you when that was written, but it was a while ago. Shri, let's start with the Prologue. Sri Lalitambai Namaha Lalita Nama Trishati Stotram. Recite the discourse most artistic of all natural expressions elucidated. Explain the order by which existence evolves to perfection by the straightest path. By offering our own soul, we have become merged completely in the delight of perception. Again and again, we circumambulate with respect to those who have become shining lights before us. From the single point, Bindu, Trikonu, Bashakonu, Basarayuban, 3 angles and then 8 other triangles be followed by 10 triangles within and without. And then 14 angles, there are 8 petals of a lotus, again followed by 16, and these support 3 circles, 3 demarcations of existence with 4 doors, the Bhupar. This is known as the Sri Chakra, the expression of the highest divinity, and this is a description, a definition of the angles and the circles of the Sri Chakra Yantra, the map of the Sri Vidya. And this is the preface, the Purvabhag. And Agastya asked Hayagriva. He asked Lord Vishnu in the form of, he's got a horse's head. He said it wasn't a tail. Hayagriva, the Lord, who is an ocean of compassion to devotees, allow me to hear that which is the ultimate to be heard. I want some good news. You have told me the secrets of 1,000 names. Now tell me only that which is beyond that with a certainty will bring victory over the manifestations of my consciousness. O Master, about what other objective could I desire to hear? So, Sutta is telling the story. Hayagriva goes to the Divine Mother and asks her, how do I answer such a question? I just gave him 1,000 names. Now, those 1,000 names have 10 million qualities. What do you have that's better than that? What could I tell him that's any more important than the 1,000 names of the Divine Mother? And she says, well, you know what? Somebody else asked that question, and I'm going to tell you what answer he got. Hayagriva asked the Divine Mother how to answer. Tell me, what is the cause of this? Again, how is wisdom manifested? Tell me how consciousness cognizes existence, that united with your words I may offer respect. Measure out, put some limit on both your infinite feet, O playful Mother, with raised breasts, To this horse's head, Hayagriva, this world is extremely fearful, extremely fearful. What is this? What is this without end? It's infinite. All the rishis can say is neti neti, it's not this, it's not that. Would you tell me what it is? I can't handle it. I can't grasp it. It's terrifying. It's boyankar. It's bigger than I can conceive. Give me something to conceive, so then I can think about what you're telling me. How does one give up these invasive thoughts and become united with her? Everybody knows how invasive these thoughts are. They come in, they take over the mind just like they're my thoughts and they're real. And they invade. Akraman! They attack. They poke you with spears and arrows and throw their swords and shields at you. How does one contemplate the infinity of thoughts without the anxiety of individual attachment? That's a good question. Hey, Mom, how do we answer that? Okay, I'll keep reading. How does one reside in satisfaction? Remembering the wisdom that the playful mother is performing all. Even Mick Jagger said he couldn't get any satisfaction. How do you get some satisfaction? This is an age-old question. I'm telling you, this is prehistoric. This goes back millennium before Christ. BCE, before the current era. And they were asking the same question. How do you get satisfied? How does one reside in satisfaction? Santoshi Maki Jai. Remembering the wisdom that the playful mother is performing all. It's her Leela, it's her play, it's her drama. I bow to those twice-born beings of wisdom, the Munis, who continually reside at her feet. You know the alternatives. If you don't reside at her feet, then you must reside someplace else. As a disciple, he resided together with the Guru for 3 years, and then he heard that wisdom and saw all the worlds filled with the wonder of the respected, playful Mother Goddess who is one with the Lord of Desire. And then increase in understanding of this secret was bestowed upon Hayagriva. Well, there Hayagriva stayed with Mom for 3 years. Mom, I've been with you for 40. How come you don't bestow upon me what you gave to Hayagriva?
You got a lot.
I know, but I didn't get the whole enchilada. I mean, it's a big enchilada to measure the limits of infinity. And then, an increase in understanding of this secret was bestowed upon Hayagriva. And the goddess said, "Oh, horse-faced." Do you remember when the Ashwins asked to have that same wisdom from Chavanamuni? He said, "I'm going to have to cut off your head." He said, "Go ahead. Cut off our heads now. Give us the wisdom. When they come to cut off our heads, we'll put our original heads right back on." Oh, horse-faced, I am extremely pleased with your understanding of the universality of the scriptures. You shall be given kingdom, you shall be given dominion, you shall be given the mantra of 16 letters. Kaha-e-idlarim, hasakahalarim, sakalarim. Renouncing worldly ignorance and the knowledge of the secret of your own Divine Mother. And now, very deeply understanding my secret, allows you to know a song which brings me all pleasure. Hey, everybody pay attention to this. This is pretty good stuff. Only along with the Lord of all desire, Kameshwar, can one enter into my secret, Kameshwari. From my order, she gave that Agya from the Agya chakra. From my order did the gods recite the circle or garland of 1,000 names. So the gods sang the 1,000 names because she ordered them to. She told, "Get with the program, gods. Go sing the 1,000 names." Now I'm giving that horse-faced one 300 names, which accomplish 10 million times your 1,000 names. I will now tell you that song which with less words brings me all pleasure. When recited as japa, continually, it accomplishes all actions without a doubt. Nashanshaya. Therefore, the chanting of these names brings to me all pleasure. You tell this to Agastya, who alone is the suitable recipient without a doubt. Agama stamanam iti Agastya, who comes as fixed, still, uncompromising, not wishy-washy. He is Agastya, who is completely still and fixed in his stillness, is Agamam, Stamva, Agastya. You tell this to Agastya, who alone is the suitable recipient without a doubt. Also his wife Lopamudra, who has been worshiping me with great devotion. They are proceeding with great devotion, and therefore this should be explained to them. You have remained without a wandering mind for 3 years. Thus you should make it be known that sincere devotion alone makes one worthy of seeing me. There is no other now or in the future who has perceived extensive consciousness as he, Agastya. He has brought me great satisfaction and therefore should know my words. And Sutta said, he's the narrator of the story, Sutta Puranika, his son of Vyas. Thus uniting, the Divine Mother went inside and she became imperceivable. She who is the same as the Lord of all desires, so she is Kameshwari and she is one with Kameshwar. It is Shiva and Shakti. Then Hayagriva set out towards, he was born from a jar, Agastya, he's the jar head, or he actually was born from the Kailash, from the jar, and his wife. He situated him.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yep. He came out of the Kailash when we mean stop him. He situated himself in close proximity and called in a voice greatly wonderful. Hayagriva said, "You are blessed, you are blessed, you are blessed, O you who were born from a jar. Kritartasi, 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 Gatobaba. You who came out of the Kailash, out of the gut, you are Kritartha. You have received the artha of all karma, the blessings of the meaning of all life. In the 3 worlds there is no one equal to you in devotion to the playful mother. Only to Agastya will the Divine Mother Goddess herself reveal how to control the mind."
Agastya has no father.
No, he had no. Well, he was Shiva's son, but Shiva put him in the jar. And when they did Kailash Stapan, the gods did Kailash Stapan for Brahma's yajna, and Agastya came out of the jar. He said, "Okay, I'm still and stir and dir. I'm Gambhir Ananda, stir dir." Only to Agastya will the Divine Mother Goddess herself reveal how to control the mind. Along with your true disciple, your wife. The true disciples. Along with your true disciple, your wife. She will become perceivable to you as the goddess of goodness, the perception of which is even difficult for Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. But Agastya and his wife get to see. Now, I shall tell you the song which is the cause of all satisfaction. We're going to turn Mick Jagger on his head. We're giving this right here and right now. We're going to tell you all the same song that the wife of Agastya and Agastya got the 300 names. By merely remembering this, you respected beings can perceive extensive consciousness. O Muni, this is even more secretive than the 1,000 names. It is necessary that its knowledge be confined to only those who worship the playful mother. Don't give it out indiscriminately. Give it to true devotees. I am telling you this in obedience to the orders of the playful mother. Mom said to tell you. So I'm telling you. I'm going to let you have it right now. The respected 15 letters known as the Order of Kadi, O Muni. Of the many scores of names variously elucidated, O you who were born from a jar, Agastya, these indestructible 300 names are the cause of all satisfaction. Of all the secrets, this is extremely secret, so you must protect this confidence. It means it's hidden mysteriously, very deeply inside. Please, keep it there, in your heart, all the time. Keep it in its rightful place. In fact, don't leave home without it. Of all the secrets, this is extremely secret, so you must protect this confidence. O respected beings, may you listen with one pointed attention. Please. Only knowledge of the names will be imparted, O you who are born from a jar, Agastya, and not of the effects which they will produce. From the practice of these mantras, you will perceive the difference of one name from the others. Therefore, may you listen with one mind, O Muni. I don't have to tell you the effects. If you chant these 300 names, you'll tell me the effects. You'll show me the effects. You only have to speak a word about what happened to you, the transformation that you underwent because of doing this sadhana. Your face will show it. Your actions will show it. Everything you do, mon, vachan, karma, your mind and your speech and your actions, they'll all be in harmony with the limits of infinity. The limits of infinity. I better read the text. The sutta said, thus, Hayagriva explained to them before teaching the 300 names. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. And thus ends the Prologue. And now we're getting into the Vinayog, the application of these mantras. Let's pause right here and see if there are any questions so far.
We have a question from Ambika.
Namaste, Ambika. Namaste, Sham.
Namaste. It is so wonderful to be back in class with you again. My question, doesn't God reside within us? Aren't we all divine? If so, why do we need to step back into duality to look at God? Can we not close our eyes and go within?
You can, but how can I love you if I am you? I can only love you if I perceive you to be outside of me. I can't love you inside of me. I'm just loving me. There's only one. I can only say one. Brahma, 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 Brahma. If there's two, I can say you. So there has to be two so that there can be a love affair. If there's only one of us, then who will be the lover and who will be beloved?
Who's your lover?
Chandima?
Hey, she's outside! And she's inside. Nirakara Chasakara. She is outside and she's inside. She's beyond form and she's with form. And therefore, in order to love her, in order to worship her, in order to puja to her, she's got to be a little bit away, just enough so you can look her in the eye and say, hey, I love you. Hey, Tiganda Pushpe, I love you. And that's why, Ambika, so that we can have a love affair, all this play, all this drama, all this love that's going back and forth between me and Mom and me. Mama mia. All that love affair is about the relationship in duality. When you sit in the oneness and the unity and the solitude of complete union, there's no love affair.
Dry.
You became a Vedantin. Yes, please.
We have a question from Sharanya.
Namaste, Sharanya.
Pranam. When is it better to chant Lalita Trishati or Lalita Sahasranam instead of the Chandi? Are there certain holidays or festivals where we would want to chant Lalita Trishati? And what are they?
Yes, there are many holidays that we want to chant Lalita Trishati. You do not want to do it instead of Chandi. You want to do it in addition to Chandi. Please don't think that these are all exclusions. I'm doing this, so I don't do that. I'm doing that, and I don't do this. No, you do it all until you're not sitting 24/7 in one asana. Do a little more, and do a little more, and don't do it instead of. Do it in addition to. And yes, there are special holidays for Lolita. You can, first of all, every Shashti you can do the 6th day of every fortnight, either Shukla Paksha or Krishna Paksha. You can do Lakshmi Puja, you can do Lakshmi Sahasranam, you can do Lalita Trishati, you can do every Saturday. You can do of course on Diwali. Every time you go to the south, anywhere south of Mumbai, you can do Lolita in every temple that you go to. There will be a Lolita. She's everywhere. There's no place that's inappropriate to do it. There's no time that's inappropriate to do it. There are special times and special places. I'll bet you if you look on our website, we probably, under festivals for Lolita, we probably put some special festivals there. So, of course, I don't know all the South Indian names for them, but there's, what is it, Onam? And there's Pongal, and there's, I'm sorry, I can't remember all the South Indian names for the festivals of Lolita, but there are a lot of them. In the North, we didn't do it on Diwali. You can do it on, there's lots of times to do. Yes, please.
Swamiji, can you please explain why Lalita is one with the Lord of Desire?
Yes. Shiva and Shakti are one. Lolita is the playful, dancing, tinkling, springful, playful mama.
Like a pushpa.
Etikanda pushpe. Yes, she's just like the flower that dances around the temple. And so the Lord of all desires, what does he desire? He desires to see her, to be with her, to give her his love. So that is why Lolita is the dancing, playful, divine mother, the form that the Lord of desires to see her play when he desires to see. Sometimes he desires to be left alone. Then he just closes his eyes. Yes, please.
We have a question from Nick in San Francisco.
Namaste, Nick.
Pranam. I'm a little confused on the difference between the Kadi, the 15-letter mantra, and the 16-letter mantra Divine Mother says she will give Hayagriva in verse 10. Could you elaborate?
Yes, there are 3 forms of Sri Vidya. Kadi, Hadi, and 16-lettered Kahadi. This entire exposition, this Trishati, is Kadi Vidya. It's Divine Mother. It's Nigama. The Agamas were told by Shiva to Shakti. The Nigamas were told by Shakti to Shiva. So they are the descriptions of the Divine Mother as Nigama. The descriptions of Lord Shiva as the Divine Father are Agama. So you could say coming and going, coming into the dissolution and going out into the playfulness of manifestation. Those are the differences between Agama, coming, and Nigama, going. And between coming and going, you'll find the Divine Guru. So the Kadi is one form of Sri Vidya. Kahadi is another form of Sri Vidya, and that's the 16-lettered mantra. This entire exposition is 300 names in order of Kadi. And it consists of 20 names beginning with each letter of the Kadi Vidya. 20 names beginning with Ka, 20 names beginning with A, 20 names beginning with E, 20 names beginning with Ila, and it describes the three forms of mind. So that's what this exposition is about. She uses Kadi and Hadi interchangeably. And you can, as a philosophical proposition. She's not distinguishing between the philosophies of 15 letters or Sharasi, the 16 letters.
We have a question from Prakash in Florida.
Namaste, Prakash.
Pranam. This question might not be relevant this
It is.
What is the difference between Kul Devata and Ishta Devata?
It is totally relative. Kul Devata is the deity of the family, and Ishta Devata is your own chosen deity. So Kul Devata, and give my love to Bhuma. Kul Devata is the family of the god, the goddess of the family, or the god of the family. And the Ishta Devata is your own chosen. For example, you love Hanuman, I know. And I also know you love Divine Mother. So you could say that my Ishta, well, you took Diksha from the Divine Mother in the Divine Mother's mantra. So your Ishta Deva and your Ishta mantra and your Diksha mantra are one and the same. But your Kul Devata, you love Hanuman, he's part of your family of gods. If I look on your altar, I find Hanuman is there prominently. Her Ishta is Krishna. And yet in her Kul Devata, she's got a family of gods and goddesses on her altar. Then she has Radha, and she has Ram, and she has Sita and Lakshman. They're all part of the Kul Devata.
We have a question from Moshami and Siddharth in Boulder.
Namaste Moshami, namaste Siddharth.
Pranam. Is there any significance of Agastya being born out of a jar?
Yes. He really came as a divine manifestation, and he was established with Pran Pratishta, and he wasn't born from any old woman's belly. He came out of the Kailash, and he was established in the Kailash with the same sthirata, the same dakshata, the same agamo.
He was complete.
Huh?
He was complete.
He was Purna. Purnamada, Purnamidang, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. From the beginning, he was full, complete, and perfect, and still, steer and ditter. And he was fixed in Dharma from the beginning. So that's why he was called to be born from a Kailash in Brahma's Yajna. Yes, please.
We have a question from Ambika.
Namaste, Ambika.
What is the Ud Geet? Can you please speak more about it?
I can't. But even better than my speaking about it, if you go to our website, you'll hear the Roga Nashesha mantra chanted with the Udgit by Bireshwarananda. And he did a very nice job. It's a special mode of pronunciation, so you can listen to the Udgit in that pronunciation. I can demonstrate it for you, but that's a very classic example, a very beautiful way to do it. Yes, please.
We have a question from Elise.
Namaste, Elise.
Why does the verse say it is more powerful than the 1,000 names? Is it because the yantra is a part of it?
No, it's because of the entire composition. You have both the mantra, the yantra, and you have the complete exposition, and it's a mathematical formula, and it's filled with secrets. I mean, this is as secret as the mantras that we were reciting from the Devi Upanishad, the Devi Atharvashirsham from the beginning of the Chande. There are so many secrets contained in this 300 names that we'll be discussing it for the better part of a week, I'm sure. And the reason it's so much more powerful is the 1,000 names are philosophical exposition. They give us 1,000 divine attributes and qualities, characteristics, which we can inculcate into our own being, which we can introduce into our sadhana, imbibe into our lives, into the rhythm of our lives, to make us dance with the grace of the Divine Mother. But these 300 names are even more powerful because they are the embodiment of secrets, of mysticism, of mathematics, of a formula. How are you going to dance? How do you want to do the dance? Shall we dance? Dum, dum, dum. How do you become the best partner for her to dance with? This is the reason it's even more powerful. Yes, please.
We have a question from Swarupananda.
Namaste, Swarup. We're missing you.
Pranam. What is the significance of the horse face?
The horse face is Hayagriva. He was an incarnation of Vishnu. He's one of the Dasha avatars. He was the horse was on the body of a man. And what happened was he manifested in order to slay Hiranyaksha and to save the Vedas. The horse is the Ashwa, and the Ashwa is if you look at the quality of the horse, he always wants to go home. No matter where you take him, he always wants to find his way home, and he's always barn sour. He's always wanting to go back to his own stall, and where he knows his own comfort level. And the horse face in this situation stands for the relentless pursuit of returning to our origin, our place of origin where we got that divine inspiration, that divine light, that divine knowledge, which makes us understand that everything we're perceiving in the relative world is relative knowledge. There is no pure justice, there is no true equality, there is no true beauty. These are all concepts that I have from the past, that there is such a purity, such a clarity, such an equality, such a harmony I never saw through my senses. In fact, I never saw since I've had these senses. I saw approximate equality. You look on the altar, no two flowers are alike. Every one of them is different. You'll never find perfectly equal flowers. You look in the basket. No matter how much you search, they'll approximate equality. They'll approximate similarity, but they are not perfect. And how do we know they're not perfect? Because we know what is perfect. And since we've had our senses, we didn't get to see the perfect. We only got to see the relative. Which means we must have seen the perfect sometime before we got the senses. Which means sometime before we were born, we were one with God. And the horse face wants to take us back there, to that pure knowledge, that pure beauty, that pure love, that perfect love where all we want is the expression of the joy, the privilege of being in the presence of our beloved. Not to be acknowledged, not to be accepted, not to be respected, not to be appreciated, not to be compensated. We just want the privilege to be in the presence. Yes, please.
We have a question from Chandana.
Yes, Chandana, namaste. Where are you? Are you back in Turkey?
I don't think so, Swamiji.
You Turkey.
Pranam, can you please elaborate on verse 12? Only along with the Lord of all desire can one enter into my secret. How can we interpret this and apply it to our own worship?
You have to become her. You have to become her who is one with Shiva. That's the only way. The Lord of all desire, Shiva, Kameshwar. You must become Kameshwari in order to become one with Kameshwar, in order to enter into her secret. You have to have the stillness, the regularity, the consistency, the capacity to make a commitment just like Agastya had. You sat for 3 years so still and so devoted and so full of love, and all he had was her mantra. And in that way, he became one with her, and he became one with him, and he became Lord Shiva, and he was born from a jar who had the capacity to receive these 300 names and give them to us so we can share them with everybody who wants to carry that secret in their heart. That kind of love, that kind of dedication, that kind of commitment, that means you can trust me all the way. I will not act in defiance of your best interest. I'm only acting on your behalf. You can trust that. You don't have to micromanage. You can just trust that we're making the right decisions in the best interests of the most people. Yes, please.
Ambika has a follow-up to her Udgit question.
Yes, please, Ambika. Did you find Vireshwar's mantra?
She says, I listened to the mantra on the website.
Yes?
It is very different from the chanting we usually do at the mandir.
Absolutely.
Is this style of chanting appropriate for any scripture?
Yes,
If this style makes the names come alive, why not use it all the time?
because he can only chant one mantra that way. He did one mantra. And when you sit with me, you're going to do 1,000 mantras, and then you're going to do another 1,000. And then you got another book at the end. And you can't read scriptures that way. You can read passages. So there are different kinds of pronunciation for different effects, for different folks, for different strokes, for different all kinds of criteria that go into the kinds of pronunciation that you will use. The employment of your mode of pronunciation is dependent upon your purpose. What's your goal? We generally aspire to, there are 4 kinds of pronunciation that we aspire to. There's Bhakti Pat, Shakti Pat, Pranayam Pat, and Jivanam. Now, Bhakti Pat, Udgit is very appropriate, but you can't do the whole book. You won't, you don't have enough time. You don't have enough asana. You don't have enough mind. You can do Lalita Trishati. That's 300 names. You could do it in 20 minutes. You could do in a half hour. You could do it in 45 minutes. But try and do the Chandi like that, it'll take you 5.5 hours, 6 hours. You won't sit that long. So then you can do a Shakti Pat, which is... Or you can do it in Pranayam, which means... Or you can do it in Jivanam, and I bet you can't get it to the end of the first chapter of Chandi in Jivanam. Because every mantra is born in Om, and it ends in Om. And it's elongated in Om. And you melt into the Om. Now, if you have a sankalpa to read the book, and you melt into the Om, you're going to be there a long, long time. You won't complete your sankalpa. So define your sankalpa, define your objective, define your purpose, define your path, define your mode of pronunciation, and make your decisions accordingly, judiciously. You must define what you're trying to accomplish through reciting these mantras. Then we can understand. If you want to recite 1,000 names, I doubt if you're going to get through it like Vireshwar did. He's got very deep voice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
We have another follow-up question from Ambika.
Yes, please, Ambika.
So, do we save this type of chanting for Sahasranams?
No. For something less than Sahasranam. For Trishati. For You can do, there are certain works, certain texts, which are written in Udgit. And they have a Sama notation or an approximation to Sama notation. So, I mean, you understand. For example, let me go back to this text. We'll just go very quickly because I'm not going to do the whole text. But if you turn to page 187. And this is the first verse of the text. And it says, Kakara Rupa Kalyani, Kalyana Guna Thalini, Kalyana Thaida Nilaya, Kamaniya Kalabati, Kamalakshi Kamashagni, Karuna Mrita Sagara, Kadambakana Nabasta, Gandamba Kusamapriya. Udgit, or approximately.
How about your chanting you did, Lalita?
That was a little bit Udgit and a little bit Bhakti-Pat.
That
was nice.
Very nice.
Right. It's nice, but it's a little bit different. Anyway, these are, I don't usually chant that way. I do 4 or 5 verses of the breath. It's the way I normally chant. On Sundays, I do 2 verses of the breath. If I do new scriptures or new pot, I'll do 2 verses of the breath. Oh, it's for me, the more important thing is the pranayama. So if you want to recite for other people, you definitely want to do the Udgit. If it's written in Udgit, then you can do the Udgit. Samaveda is written in Udgit. There are some texts that are not written in Udgit which are conducive to be done in Udgit. For example, Lalita Trishati. But other texts, you can use a different form of pronunciation. They're all correct. What you understand, what is your intention, what is your motivation, what is your purpose, what are you trying to accomplish by doing this? Are you studying these mantras? Do you know what you're saying? Do you know why you're saying it? Do you know how to sit? Do you know how to breathe? All of this goes into making the correct pronunciation. Those are the most important criteria.
She was a singer, therefore she likes to give.
Well, she still is a singer. Yeah. Yes, please.
Swamiji, I have a question.
Well, that's dangerous.
Talking about Bhakti-Pat and Pranayama-Pat,
Yes.
different ways of reciting. In the Bhakti-Pat, it's easier to pay attention to the meaning, and you were talking in the introduction about it's a living goddess. It's
Yes.
easier to think about that in the Bhakti-Pat, but in the Pranayama-Pat, there's a certain energy. How do we bring the two of them together so that you have the...
If you do, sometimes you do the pranayama part, and sometimes you do the bhakti part, and sometimes you just study the English, and sometimes you read a line of Sanskrit and a line of English, and then you read it forwards and backwards and backwards and forwards until it becomes yours. And when it's your own, then you can read it and understand it and feel it and think about ways, how do I employ that into my life? How do I increase the efficiency of my life so I become a sadhu? So that what I do is in definition with it's in accordance with the definition of my ideals of perfection. And that's how you do it. You make the scripture your own. As you study the Chandi Pat, I am Samadhi, I am Surat, I am the king who lost my kingdom, and I am the businessman who gave up my business. Boy, am I trying to give up my business. I'm really striving to give up my business. I'm the businessman who gave up the business. All the characters in the book are inside us. And this is the story of me. And I am Agastya. And I am Hayagriva, except I'm the horse's tail and not the head. And this is all about me. Me. I'm in this business for myself. It's called self-realization. I'm trying to realize the self. That's why I'm doing this. I want the best, at least for my perception. Let the world think about ISIS and Isis and all the other things they want to think about. I'm in this for me. How do I make this real to me? How do I understand myself reflected in this story? What can I do with this knowledge? This is the thesis with which I implore you to come into the study. How do I make this useful? I'm not a student of ancient history. I don't care about Sanskrit grammar. I don't want to become a professor of philosophy or of any other thing. I don't want to profess my faith. I want to live my faith. How do I change my life because of this knowledge? This is the thesis that I want to study with. So do it every way. You'll learn about the philosophy, you'll learn about the history, you'll learn about the context in which this was discovered. But the most important thing you'll learn is, how do I change me until I become the person I like to be? How do I become the guy I like the best? I don't want to walk around the rest of my life saying I can't get no satisfaction. I want to have a big smile on my face and say, I'm satisfied. I did it, man. I wish it was a little longer. I want to be able to be the guy say, I like me. And if you got something to teach me, to get me one letter closer to that goal, please teach me. I'm all ears. I'm an open book. I just write down the mantra. Just tell me, give me the instruction. I want to do it because I want to become the guy I like. And I'll know that because everybody else likes me too. Or almost everybody. People that can. Yes, please.
So I'm trying to work on my pronunciation.
Yes, good thing.
Is there a specific path, or is it a matter of just slowing down and...
Slow down, look at the letters. Each of the letters is a yantra. Each of the yantras symbolizes a vibration. They all come together as the playful, dancing mother who's got the raised sound, the vibration, the bhavana, the feeling, the attitude. How do I inculcate that attitude into what I'm doing? Everything I'm doing. Whether I'm writing a computer program, or I'm writing a management thesis, or I'm writing whatever I'm chopping wood or carrying water, whatever I do, I want it to reflect my study of Sanskrit and pronunciation, the rhythm with which I dance across the stage of life. That's why I'm studying this stuff. I don't want to become good at something. I mean, these are useless skills. They won't bring you anywhere. It's not going to put potatoes on the table. I promise you, if you become a priest or a priestess, you'll starve for a long time. It takes a long time. It's not a real money-making profession. You can do it in conjunction with other professions, but what you really want to do it as a way of life. Then it means something. I'm going to do everything else I do because I'm a priest. It's all part of the worship. Now that's fun. That's cool. That's knowledge that I can work with. That means something to me. I don't want to become the priest that you come in for panchika. How much? 1 rupee, 25 paisa. You give me and I'll chant mantras and change the karma of your life. What nonsense. That's silly stuff. I want to worship God for God. I don't want to worship God for money. I'll worship money for money. I'll do business for money. I'll worship God for God. So if you want to learn the pronunciation, concentrate on the pronunciation, look at each syllable, look at each letter, look at each word, and put them all together, try to make a meaning out of it, try to employ that meaning, try to grasp the pronunciation, and feel that rhythm of life as you sway through life. As you dance across the stage of consciousness, just like all the other forms of Lalita do. Yes, please.
We have a question from Nick.
Namaste, Nick.
If this scripture is a secret, why is it being presented to the general public? Does the secret only reveal itself through practice and devotion, and hence protect itself?
Well, the secret reveals itself through practice and devotion, but it's secret because you're supposed to keep it in your heart. You don't have to go around talking about it. You can keep it in your heart, Nick. And you're part of the devotees family, the family of devotees, so that you are entitled to this secret. I doubt if it's going to get out to the general public. I think there are only a few people watching tonight. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.